overnight. I left these life jackets inflated. I inflated them orally. In doing so, I don't have the lung capacity to push as much pressure into these bladders as you would get from a cartridge. I'll show you some of the results, and the reason we inspect is because, as you'll see, there's things that get noticed when you do your annual maintenance. So this guy, he did pretty well. The inflator is green and the cartridge looks okay. Everything on this looks nice. It's nice and firm. This is in the green right here. This is my personal life jacket. The exterior is kind of old, but it is still serviceable. It's inspected, so I'm gonna repack it. And in repacking, since it is kind of old, I've got to be careful with the zippers and the material. It's at the very end of its life on the exterior. The bladder's fine, the working part. And here is my offshore jacket. I knew before I inspected this that the inflator, it has expired. The expiration date is past. And I found something that is common for spin locks. I took the canister out for a reason, but when I unpacked this, I literally touched this and it was wiggly and loose. One of the things that happens on these spin locks, and this is why we inspect at least annually, is when you tighten it down, it's fine, you repack it, and over time this does have a tendency to loosen, which wouldn't be good if it was loosened enough where, you know, it's wiggly, and when the dagger goes up, it wouldn't penetrate the foil. So that would make that life jacket not inflate if this cartridge is loose enough. Some people have suggested putting a little tiny piece of plumber's tape to keep it from backing out. This old school jacket, the bladder's still quite firm, so it's, even though it's old and kind of older model, it's still serviceable. And look at here, whoopsie. Not so good. It just, even when I inflated it, I could hear and feel air coming out somewhere over here. So this confirms that this is no bueno. This guy is a little old. It's pretty soft, so I would say that this is not serviceable anymore. But as an example of this kind of inflator, a little soft too. It has lost its little green pin here, but it's showing in the green, so the canister is okay. And that's not a bad idea. This one's locked in pretty good, so I'm not going to try to do this on video, but you can back that canister out and look at the foil to make sure it's good. And you should do that. Here's another one showing in the green. It's still pretty firm, but oh, look at that. That is not good. So if you see something like that, that canister needs to be replaced. Here is a little soft. It's on the edge. It's an offshore jacket. It's in the green, and I don't know, towards this end, I started inflating down at that end, and it may have been too that my lungs were a little worn out. So this one is like iffy, but I wouldn't say that it's so iffy. I might inflate it again and see what happens. And the inflator, you can see the date on this one pretty easy, and it is expired. And so that would need to be replaced. This guy is still nice and firm. Inflator is hard to see, and oh, look up there when you look in here. Oh, what's the problem there? It does not have a canister. So if it doesn't have a canister, it's not going to inflate unless you use the oral tube like I did last night. This guy here, this life jacket, it is no longer serviceable. That's why you do an annual inspection. You look at your life jacket. You should know how to disarm it. You should know how to orally inflate it. You should know how to change and rearm it, and you should know how to repack it. Even if it's one of these that have a whole bunch of stuff that you have to shove in, learning how to repack it is part of owning and maintaining your life jacket. So thanks, and pull your life jackets out and inflate them. I bet you a lot of you will do it for the very first time. Thank you.